This is PlayerProps.ai. This for winners research. We run it up with every betting tool you know in each perk. Trevor's tested waters help you swim even the feet first. Now strategies and all you need to help you PlayerProps.ai. This for winners research. We run it up with every betting tool you know in each perk. Trevor's tested waters help you swim even the feet first. Now strategies and all you need to help you eat.
Hey guys, it's me, Travis with PlayerProps.ai. We're back after a long weekend. We're back at it here for our Monday games. So I didn't do a show Thursday, Friday, what I normally do, and we also didn't have our Sunday brand new Call of Balls show that you definitely want to tune into if you've missed the first episode, because I flew up to Ohio. My sister-in-law got married. It was a great time, but we're back in action. Today there are 0 NBA games. There is 1 NHL Finals games. There is 1 WNBA game, and then a good handful of MLB games. So, that being said, this show is more than likely going to focus on MLB because there's a lot more opportunity. I don't really like single game slates unless it is the finals, which I know NHL is right now, but I still want to focus on more MLB things. On Monday and Tuesday of last week, a week ago today, I dropped a brand new strategy for MLB betting. It hit that day, and then on the second day, I recapped. Again, this is how this works. These are things to pay attention to. Since I taught you the new strategy on Monday, it has not lost. It has been hitting at 100% rate if you do exactly what I tell you to do. But again, there's going to be people out there that want to do things their own way, and they're going to lose their own way, and they're going to find somebody else they want to complain to. But all you got to do is listen to the words coming out of my mouth, and you will make money. So that is actually an undefeated, which, I mean, I was hoping it was going to be undefeated, but it's still undefeated. I'm going to pull up what is the most likely play for today with the new strategy, but I do want to point out why we're not going to be playing it, or why I'm hesitant to play it before we get into MLB player props. But if you haven't yet, you're like, what strategy are you talking about? You have to go back to the Monday show. The thumbnail on the Monday show says new MLB strategy. And the thumbnail was almost the same for the Tuesday show, new MLB strategy. Watch both of those shows. Do not skip around. Take notes. This is undefeated. But for today, we can actually go back and or go to the total screen, the total predictor. So I'm going to show you a few things here. So the first thing to check for those that already know the strategy, I won't go into too much detail because we've already talked about it on 2 different shows. But this would essentially check all of the main boxes. The line is at least 8 or higher. The difference is at least 0.75 or higher. So that would check those boxes, right? But something to pay attention to is we do have another tool that will help guide you in the right direction. And that's the NRFI tool we added a couple months ago, which stands for no runs first inning. So we're looking at this Tampa Bay-Boston matchup, right? This is the only matchup that checks all the boxes for our undefeated yes run first inning strategy. But what I did is I went to this, and then the second highest no run first inning grade is that same game. Shane is on a 11-game streak. There is only 1 out of 12 games he has not allowed a run in the first inning. Bello hasn't done that great. He's still 6-3, but he's on a 3-game win streak where he has not allowed a run in the first inning. The team streaks don't really matter too much if the pitchers themselves are holding things down. While the strategy does let us bleed into the second and third inning, the goal of the bet is to hit in the first inning. And when you're telling me a guy has started 12 games and only allowed a run in 1 time, I don't like this. So even though checking the total predictor, exactly how I taught you, would check the boxes. You go to the Trifectas channel in Discord, and it does check the boxes. Go here. Typically what we've been seeing is the one that we highlight from the total predictor will be somewhere here in the bottom with a low grade, which is nice. It's like, oh, hey, their grade opportunity to not allow a run is so low, that gives me a boost of confidence. But when it's the second highest of the day, and we're seeing that Shane himself is destroying the first inning in terms of doing great, and then Bello last year, 69% of the games didn't allow a run, 66% of his starts so far didn't allow one. I don't want to touch this. So this is just this is not okay. What do we do then? You just fade. Remember, the thing that I know a lot of people that come from the outside world of zero. I don't say this like zero education, like you're dumb, but zero sports betting assistance. Like nobody teaches you what to look for. When you come into this realm of PlayerProps.ai that teaches you everything and what to look for, one of those things is that every bet has 3 opportunities. You go one side, or you go the other side, or you fade it, which means you don't play it at all. Anytime you see me on a show, on any episode, talk about, oh, well, no, this doesn't check all the boxes, so we're not going to go over. That is not the same as me saying, we're going to go under. That's just me saying, we're not going to touch it. We're going to fade it. So there is no play for the undefeated strategy today just because of the NFRI tool. Now, this is something we're going to monitor. So this would have been the play, but because we look at this, we're going to stay off of it. But I still want to see how early in the game they allow the first run. But don't bet on it. This is we're just monitoring it. The baseball season is young. It is very long. We don't need to force things just to play something. But for those people who know the strategy, who watched the videos last week on Monday and Tuesday, who have been winning alongside me on every single day where we've had a play because we haven't lost yet, monitor this. Watch this game. It's at 7:10 p.m. Do not bet on it. Do not bet a single penny. Just monitor it. Because there may be something that we can come add to the strategy later on where it's like, okay, as long as it checks all the dots and dots all the I's and crosses all the T's for the total predictor, but if it's, let's say, 6.3 and higher on the NFRI predictor, we don't touch it. So we can actually, if we monitor these things, we can actually create more and more rules for this strategy to make it where we win a lot more often. And I mean, being undefeated right now is definitely winning a lot more often. But we're not touching that. I just want to explain it to those people before you guys lock it in. Pay attention to this tool as well. It is very helpful for figuring out the first inning stuff. Let's take a hop, skip, jump now, ladies and gents, over to the prop predictor. I always want to stress, as you see at the top, if you ever need help, just ask. Some other housekeeping things. So this is the content schedule for this week. So we're still gonna. I don't have any traveling this week, so I'm gonna be doing the Monday through Friday shows. Tuesday night, if you missed it, I literally just gave away an insane amount of free months of premium subscription to the PlayerProps.ai app. All you had to do is show up and answer some questions. But I'm starting to do every Tuesday at 8 p.m. on this YouTube channel. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m., this YouTube channel, we have Sports Trivia Tuesdays. You just tune in. I ask some questions. Whoever answers in the chat first gets a point. And then it's only like a 30-minute show. After 30 minutes of asking questions, whoever has the most points wins. If you are a VIP member, you get a $100 gift card. If you are not a VIP member and you get first place, you get a free month of premium. But it's really fun, and I just got to keep coming up with more questions for the show. But definitely tune in. More than likely, you're going to be able to at 8 p.m. Eastern time. But if you're not, that's okay. But if you have the time, tune in for 30 minutes. Try to win some money or some free months of subscription. Then, this Saturday specifically, the 14th, this is our next live coaching session. If you ever have gotten confused by anything we've said or how to use the PlayerProps.ai app, maybe you haven't upgraded because you're not 100% sure of how to use it, or maybe you have questions that are just related to sports betting that nobody's answered for you and you can't find the answers. We've had a handful of people in the same shoes as you saying, hey, can you offer the opportunity for us to do like a one-on-one coaching where we can just ask you all the questions we have and you can just tell us directly this is the answers? So we had the first one last month and it went extremely well. We had a lot of interest in it. I'm doing one on Saturday and I think there's only a handful of seats left. So what you have to do is go into the coaching channel in Discord. So it's right above the questions channel in the Discord listings. It just says coaching. Go to that, click the link, get your seat. It is this Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern time. I sit here and I answer everybody's question until there is no questions left. So you will get every question answered guaranteed. But you have to grab your seat. There's only a few seats left. So go to the coaching channel in Discord, grab your seat for that. And then this coming Sunday, a week from yesterday, the next coming Sunday, we're going to be bringing Call of Ball back. And if you haven't watched the first episode of that, we had a lot of fun. That was where we find a bet for the last game of the week, so the Sunday night baseball game, we find a team bet or just a bet in general, and we all bet it, and we are watching the game on the stream that I'm doing. There's the game tracker. So we're watching the game, but we're also having all of our premium members together, and we're playing Call of Duty Black Ops 6. So you have the Black Ops 6 gameplay. You can see us destroy lobbies. I mean, I had so many kills, I probably won an award or set some record. I don't know. And then it also has the MLB game tracker on screen, and then we're just talking bets while we're making 10-year-old Call of Duty players cry. It's fun. It's fun, though. It was fun. I had a great time, and I'm looking forward to doing that again. So, again, here's the recap of the schedule. This Tuesday, tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Sports Trivia Tuesday. Win some money or a free month or both. This Saturday, live coaching session, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. If you have questions and you're not doing everything in your power to get the answers, please stop betting on sports. Sports betting is for those who will do what it takes to put themselves in the best position possible to win, even well before the game starting. So if you know you have a lot of questions, but you know you don't have the effort to join the coaching program that we set up for you guys, then that's just you telling yourself and us, hey, I don't actually care about betting enough, so just stop. If you don't want to win more enough to do a coaching session that was created just for you to answer your questions, just stop betting. And then, of course, Sunday, the day after that, is the call of ball, and that's at 7 p.m., which is typically when the baseball game kicks off. Okay, now that we've covered all of the housekeeping things on that, let's quickly find something for today's games. We have a lot of games today, so what I just did is I did our strikeouts, what we always do for strikeouts for props. We set the line to 3 minimum and the difference to 17 minimum. Now we're going to see, is there anybody that hits the trifecta? No. See, that's the beauty of PlayerProps.ai. It took me 1.2 seconds to determine yes and no. There are people that I've chatted to, and I was like, hey, like, what's your experience so far? They're like, oh, it just takes so much time to find things. I literally just took 2 seconds to do this, this, and this, and then 1.2 seconds to look and determine no trifectas. So you have to learn what to look for, which is probably the easiest part because I put everything out there. But the first thing I know what to look for is, does the sportsbooks agree with the side of what we're going with? So the first thing I look for is I look at the difference, not even the number. I look for the symbol, plus, plus, plus. There are 3 plus percentage differences, which means I need the sportsbook to favor the over in all 3 of these. And then so that was the first half of a second. And in the second half of a second, I looked at the odds, over plus 1.5, over plus 115, over plus 130. So I knew exactly within 2 seconds that there are no trifecta plays. This is at least 1 strikeout higher than the line. This one is not. This one is not. So this is the 2 out of 3 for Dustin May, but his over's at plus 1.5. And he's versing San Diego. And there, if you listen to the words coming out of my mouth and you're in the Discord with your account synced to open up the free channels, one of the free channels is called MLB Ban List. And what does it say on one of the lines in the MLB Ban List? It says we do not go over strikeout props against San Diego. You might be asking yourself why. Because San Diego is always known for being the least strikeoutiest team. Now, over the course of the season, if you see right here, Toronto actually took over their bottom spot for striking out the least. They're still 28th over this season, and that's mainly because Toronto is 30th over the last 3 games, but San Diego has been striking out a little bit more, striking out 7th most over the course of the last 3-game average. Now, he's got a lot of sexy green stuff here. His line was actually at 3.5 at 4:25 a.m. That is if you took it at 3.5, it was a trifecta at 3.5 because the sportsbooks would have favored that. So it's a trifecta at 3.5. It's not a trifecta at 4.5, and he's also versing San Diego, which is a no-no. Another thing we look for is that the strikeout rate for righties and left-handed batters is above 20%. He does that against lefties. He barely misses against righties. So this would essentially be somewhat of a forced play here. I'm curious, though. Does anybody still have him at 3.5? Because DraftKings said it originally offered him at 3.5. No, everybody's got him at 4.5. And everybody favors the under on that as well. Probably because he's versing San Diego, and again, they don't strike out that much. Okay, so we don't have a undefeated yes run first inning strategy play because that NRFI data was scary. No trifectas on the strikeouts. The only person that has a 2 out of 3 is versus San Diego, which is part of the ban list. We're definitely not going over strikeouts against Toronto either because, again, they're not even striking out at all. 30th over the season, last place. 30th in last 3, last place. And then Jose Barrios, St. Louis is also kind of not a strikeout-y team as well. I would probably pull him up and look at him just to consider it if he had at least 1.0 projection higher than the line, which he doesn't. So there's no strikeout plays today, which is okay. It is okay to do exactly, to follow the trifectas, to do what Travis tells you to do, what he's taught you to do, and not find anything. I have people every once in a while who are newcomers. They'll be like, hey, I did everything, but nothing, I couldn't find anything. That's okay. This is not a guarantee that you're going to find a trifecta for every stat for every sport. You don't have to bet every single day. And when you feel like you're needing to bet every single day, that's when it's the best to take a step back. As long as you know that you don't have to bet every day, that'll help you not force things out there. Don't bet any strikeout stuff. There's nothing there. But let me just check FanDuel real quick because sometimes DraftKings won't offer pitchers at the time I'm recording, and FanDuel may already have them up. So there is one more play here. So this is so Yuri Perez, to my knowledge, I was actually looking at him yesterday. So we have a rule where you have to pitch a certain amount of games in the season. And Yuri, this is his first start, I think, since 2 years ago. I'm going to pull it up on my phone here real quick. But yeah, so he had like, I don't know if it was Tommy John or something. Let me, it's been 20 months. Yeah, so it's been almost 2 full years, 20 months and 20 days since we last saw him pitch. So we don't know if there's a pitch count he's going to be on, which is most likely. He's a really good pitcher. I'm just pulling up some stuff here. He had Tommy John surgery on April 8th, 2024. Oh, he had an injury, and then they thought it was going to get better, and then, like, into his rehab, he was already, like, a year into rehab. They're like, oh, no, you got to get Tommy John surgery. So this will be his first start. So this data is, like, super old because he's been 20 months without it. So this stuff here is from the 2023 season, I believe, and you see he's, like, consistently getting over 5 strikeouts. But there's a rule we have that you have to have at least two starts in the season that we're betting on, unless it's the first week of the MLB season, because they're just getting back into things. But after this time, there's so many pitchers available that we don't need to play somebody that hasn't started in over 2 years. So Pittsburgh is kind of a friendly matchup for him, and the sportsbooks are definitely favoring the over. But we don't know anything about, like, are they going to pull him at 60 pitches or 10 pitches, or whatever it may be. But keep your eyes on him, though, because this guy's good. I'm glad to see that he's back from his injury after freaking 20 months is crazy. But he grinded back, and he's there. But, yeah, we're not touching him either. All right, so we're going to go back to the predictor. We're going to try to find something else here. I mentioned there's one WNBA game. And I said that I don't really like one-game slates. But I'm curious if there's something that pops off as a trifecta in the Golden State loss LA Spurs game. So for points, you know that for points for NBA, for any basketball league, points is 50, and the difference we do is 20, or 15, not 50. Hamby's the only one that pops up as a trifecta here. It looks like she's been kind of hot and cold this season so far. Accuracy through 40 games is 40%, which isn't not, I mean, if it's under 40, it's a definite fade, but at 40, it's kind of like the least amount we'd consider. She has a 23% difference, 16.5, 20 points here. Has she versed Golden State? Yes, this season. Yes, twice. So she's versus Golden State twice this season. Her first game, she had 36 minutes. You see her on screen, this little bar graph. On 5-16, she scored 14 points, shot about 50% field goal, three personal fouls, 36. And then here, excuse me, she went off for 25 in almost the same amount of minutes, just put up more shots. She only put up 12 shots here. She put up 16 shots here. I'm going to see if there's a trend here. So any game that she's put up 14. Okay, so if she puts up at least 14 shots, she should cover 16.5 points. 16 here, 15 here, 12 here. It's only 20. She scored 20 in only 25 minutes. She's normally playing 30-something plus. But the fact against the Dallas Wings, she was able to get 20 points while covering her line of 16.5 in only 25 minutes. She was one more bucket away from covering with 29 minutes here. Interesting. I'm curious if we can find her line cheaper. 16.5. Can we find 15.5 somewhere? No, 17.5 on Bet Rivers, 16.5 everywhere else. So she's favored on Hard Rock, Caesars, and DraftKings to go over, and then it's break even, -115, -115 BetMGM, -114, -114 FanDuel. So if you are going over 16.5, FanDuel pays you the most. Okay, I'm going to check one more thing. Maybe I'll check two more things. So, in game one, as soon as game one was over, and I saw that as soon as I watched game one with everybody else in our NHL chat, right? And we're doing commentating and stuff like that. As soon as game one was over, this is what I said in the NHL VIP channel. I said, holy crap, Edmonton put up 46 shots against Florida. And I said in chat, and this was at the end of game one, I said, we have to go over Bob saves every single game. And everybody that listened to me easily covered because they put up 46 shots again in game two. And his line is still only 26.5. As long, look at, this is 40, this guy is versing, in 2 games, he saw 92 shots on goal, 92 shots that he had to save, and he saved 84 of the 92 shots. He only allowed 8 goals total for these 2 games. His line opened at 25.5, it's now up to 26.5. Even if Edmonton is slightly less aggressive, because now they're playing in Florida when they were playing on their own ice, but I don't think that matters on how aggressive they're going to be. But even if they put up almost half of 46 shots is 23. So I would say if they do at least 60% of the shots on target that they had the past 2 games, that this will hit. Now, the sportsbooks aren't favoring the over for FanDuel, so we can go to props comparison there. Maybe we're going to do a hockey play. Maybe that's where the show's going. We don't lock in things just to lock in things. You don't have to force. DraftKings favors the over. Sportsbook, FanDuel does not. So DraftKings does favor the over for that. So if you have a Hard Rock or you have BetMGM at plus 100, do that because that pays you the most. Otherwise, if you have FanDuel, do this because you don't want to do minus 120 because you're going to get paid less when he goes over 26.5. Look, seems to be his line here. And I don't know why we didn't talk about this. Maybe because I didn't do a show on the second game. That's probably why we didn't do this one. But this seems to be almost a no-brainer because they're going to stay aggressive. They should have made it a 2-0 game, but they let it go into OT and they gave up the goal. So it's a 1-1 game. Still anybody's Stanley Cup finals. But they're just so aggressive on getting shots on the net. I don't see a scenario where they get 46 shots on target back-to-back games and then they dip below 30, which, I mean, if he even allows a few goals, like 30 shots on goal, I feel like he's pumped because he's going to be at home as well. So he'll be home. He knows that because of how sturdy he was in game 2, that it's a tie 1-1 series. So I feel like everything's going this direction. Even though most of the sports books aren't favoring the over, ESPN's indifferent, DraftKings favors the over, but it's kind of like a wish-wash. I mean, the AI in itself, we can go back to what the AI is saying. The AI is favoring that. It has him at 29. Also has Skinner over as well, but I mean, he barely covered here, and he definitely covered here, but it's just that Edmonton powerhouse of those 46 shots on target. So I think this was started as an MLB show, but because we don't force things, we find something we like. And the good thing is we have all of the sports. So once NBA Finals is over, once NHL Finals is over, we still have a ton of things for MLB, a ton of things for WNBA, not just props, but the team bet stuff, as I mentioned before. And then a few people have been asking me about soccer, because soccer's an annual, all the time there's something happening. If you want soccer, it's called the Betting Trends tool. This is where all of our soccer stuff is. So what the Betting Trends tool is in a nutshell, if you've never seen this is public betting data. So let's say I want to go to soccer. So right now we have 5, this is today as well, we have 5 different leagues or events, if you will, for soccer. So this is Serie B in Brazil. So Villanova versus Criciúma, I don't know. But it says how much for the money line for the soccer match, how much bet of all the bet tickets bet, how much of the tickets are for one side. So the public has bet 68% of the total tickets have been on favor of the home team winning, and only 55% of all of the money that's bet. So if you want more information on this, please just click this button up here. It goes through in much detail. But we have soccer, we have table tennis, rugby, cricket, boxing, Aussie rules football, tennis. We have 50 different leagues in here. And the best part is, don't tell anybody else, but this is 100% free to use. This is not behind a paywall, because this is just public data information. Not that you can find it anywhere else, but we're the only site that exists on planet Earth where you can find 50 different leagues that are available. I mean, there's not 50 now because it's Monday on June 9th, and there's a lot of leagues that aren't happening. This is the only site on planet Earth, to my knowledge, that has public data, public betting trend splits and data for over 50 leagues. I made sure of it. And it's the only one, if there was anybody else that had it, it's the only one that's 100% free to view. Create a free account, and you can use this every single day for every single sport, never having to upgrade to see this particular tool. But, ladies and gents, that's what we're going with here. Remember, recap on the schedule moving forward. We're going to be doing a show Monday through Friday like we normally do. Do not forget, set your alarms. Tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Time is another Sports Trivia Tuesday. And then Saturday is our live coaching session. If you need help with more than what the videos I do help you out with, if you actually want to ask me questions one-on-one, go to the coaching channel in Discord. It's part of the free channels you unlock when you connect your accounts. Go to the free coaching channel, click the link, grab one of the last few seats. This Saturday, the 14th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, we have a coaching session for you. And then make sure you turn into this channel live Sunday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time for the next Call a Ball stream. We play Call of Duty Black Ops while finding, placing, and sweating MLB bets while also having the MLB game on the screen as well. A lot of fun stuff for you guys planned for, content for the month of June and July as we sneak back into the college football season in August. But good luck, guys. Make good choices, and we'll see you in the Discord.